Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 30.
Listen here, the work don't stop. The work don't stop with us. Okay? Because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year.
Hello.
And we are not going to make it. Okay? But guess what? I really appreciate the push to 1,000, you know?
Yeah, thanks for all of you who've joined, everyone new, everyone, you can't really say old because we still new. So, thank you, everybody.
Pretty much. You ready, Blair?
Yeah.
Walk us through it.
So, we start off, everyone is coming together to do some trust activities.
Yeah.
They are doing trust falls. Only things that really stuck out to me is that Mel falls to the ground. She said she trusts the floor more than she trusts Martell.
I like that.
And Mel and Martell, they have their turn to go. And he tries to remind her, I'm your children's father. He falls back and he busts his butt. She's like, I'm not gonna catch him.
Fair. I agree.
And Martell thinks it's because she doesn't want to look weak in front of the people.
Maybe it's because you got her in a custody battle.
Right.
Maybe that. Or maybe you cheated on her for years and years and years and years. Maybe that. Maybe it's because, there's another child that you had with the person that you was cheating on her with. You get what I'm saying? Maybe it's a whole bunch of things. Let's just choose one. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Well, Keke arrives, and Nell explains why Keke is there about the phone conversation.
Yeah.
And she allowed her to be there to make amends. And Nell says Mel asked her to give her a call to ask to come on the trip. Nell wants to give Keke a chance to come in and rebuild.
What do you feel about Keke showing up so far?
Well,
I'm talking about first impression. We heard it from last episode that Keke is on her way. Now that we actually see her walk in the room, what was your impression of Keke when she walked in on everybody?
I just didn't know what to expect from Keke. I know she told Nell that she was going to apologize because that's all she really could do.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
What about you?
Out of place. Plus, when I see Keke walk in, I seen it felt out of place. Very out of place. Well, let's get to this Keke apology, man.
Yes. Well, she apologizes to everyone about what happened at the cookout for the disruption she caused. Yeah. She apologized to Tisha for throwing a drink at her. Wow. And she apologized to Maurice and Kimmie about disrespecting their home. So Maurice and Kimmie accept it, but they say, look, it's been over a month, and it kind of feels like the apology's a little too late.
Just a little.
Keke brings up Kimmie's cancer, and she said that because the celebration was something to do with her cancer and something so touching, she really didn't know how to approach Kimmie about disrupting a celebration of that magnitude.
Kimmie, get used to it. They go keep using that cancer on you. Yeah. They go keep using it.
Yeah.
Keke was the one that disturbed the whole thing, right? And her reason for not apologizing was that I didn't know how to face you. So you think the longer that the apology goes, or the longer that the apology is not given, it makes it easier? Right. And then on top of that, you give it on a trip that's supposed to be like a team builder thing. What were you going to say, Blair?
No, I totally agree with Kimmie and Maurice. Thanks for apologizing, but at this point, it does feel inauthentic. At least I would take it that way. I mean, we live in the same city. It took you over a month to apologize, and for you to do it on this cast trip to Houston. It just seems like you're doing this to cover your A, or it just didn't come across like you could have called me up anytime to apologize, or even in the moment. Like I think Kimmie was saying, that's something that should have happened immediately. Like, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm gonna leave, but I apologize for disrespecting y'all. So
I don't know what the apology is supposed to do. So this apology is supposed to make here's the thing. Here's the reason why the apology is weird to me, because I don't know what is the result she's looking for. I don't know if she's looking for the result of I apologize and people get to forgive me, or I apologize and I get to stay on the trip.
I think that's what it is.
And if that's the case, no. Then you can't apologize for something that benefits you because you want to stay on the trip. Dude, you get what I'm saying? It makes no sense to me. Go ahead, continue, Blair.
Now ask Tisha, does she accept Keke's apology? Tisha says, sure.
Sure.
And then she walks out the room.
Of course.
Now starts crying because she wanted this to be a good trip for everyone, and she really didn't want Keke being there to cause the division within the group.
Now listen here. How do you feel about Tisha walking off? Because I'm even though Tisha was the one that was the, if you want to say victim of the water thrown in the face, I'm tired of Tisha walking off. That's like Tisha's move from season 1. to walk off and things like that. There is something to, in my opinion, being an adult, and actually sitting and standing there in the moment. Because she walked off to cry. Yeah. And things like that. So you kind of make it, I don't want to say she make the moment about her, but you make it like the apology is supposed to relieve the tension in some way. Even though we may feel like it's not real, but it's supposed to relieve the tension. But you apologize, and then you walk off, and then Marsau follows you, and then everybody knows that y'all not there. Yeah. How do you feel about Tisha walking off, or did you think anything of it?
I mean, I do find it annoying. I don't know why Tisha can't just talk to Keke. Even when they were ignoring her at Kimmie's house, I thought that was immature too. I just don't see why Tisha can't sit there and say, hey, I appreciate your apology, but a lot of damage has been done, and I'm just not there. I mean, I don't know why Keke has such power over Tisha to where she can't speak. She has to leave the room. She's visibly upset and crying. I understand, okay, they're cousins. It's a lot of hurt. Maybe there's a lot of love there. But it just seems like she's giving Keke too much power. That's how it reads to me. And I wish she would, in a way, stand up for herself. But I think Tisha, she has a problem with communicating in general. I feel like if she doesn't like something or she's upset with something, she will lead with anger and just really get very animated and upset about it, when all it takes is it could just be a 2-sentence conversation.
That is true.
I'm not feeling it. Sorry.
No, I don't like the walking off. I really don't, because it just comes off as if it's childish. I don't know. If you would have just did what Blair just stated and actually stating your opinion, how you feel, besides saying sure. No one's, for one, Tisha, no one's making you say sure.
You don't gotta accept the apology.
You can say, no, I don't accept the apology. And I would not like no further conversation or relationship with my cousin. Right. You get what I'm saying? But go ahead and tell us about this Tisha crying in the kitchen, Blair.
Yeah, so she's not crying in the kitchen. Marsau goes to check on her. And Marsau says, Nell and Tisha, they need to have a conversation. They're talking to Chris, who comes in and checks on them. And they do feel like Nell should have tipped them off to have a conversation prior. So Nell comes out to talk to Tisha and Marsau, and she asked if they want Keke here. Tisha says, Nell, you're new to the group. You don't really know the relationship between me and my cousin, but we're not in a good space. And she says, but Mel knew, and, they got word that Mel had something to do with Keke being here. Tisha says she feels betrayed, and she would have liked a conversation before.
How do you feel about that whole Mel thing? Because I do find it very interesting. I'm paraphrasing because I don't exactly remember what was the words Tisha said at the last reunion. I think she said she has a dark soul or something across those lines, right? Then it so happens that this season she's very close with Keke. Even prior season, she was using Keke as a pawn.
Yeah, inviting her to a sleepover. Exactly. Tell us about what's going on with Tisha. All this stuff.
And now you see kind of Mel is Keke's, I don't want to say spokesperson, but she's she's basically have her back and things like that. Do you feel like there's some type of passive aggressiveness that Mel is doing in a way to get back at Tisha, or do you feel like her relationship with Keke is genuine?
Well, at first I thought it was disingenuous and it was a way to get back at Tisha and to exclude Tisha. I thought that was really apparent.
You talking about this season?
No, before. But at this point, I feel like she's built somewhat of a relationship with Keke. Even if it's, I think Mel's a producer on the show, even if it's a boss employee type of respect. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily see them being friends and hanging out and all this type of stuff. Because I don't think Mel, she don't do that with the cast anyway. Yeah. But I do feel like Mel has some type of respect for Keke. And she cares for her. I feel like she does. So.
I feel the complete opposite of how you feel.
You think it's all disingenuous?
Yes.
And get back at Tisha?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like Mel is very I don't want to say cunning, but she's very she could give off the impression that, I don't care, I'm doing my own thing and I'm doing my thing, I ain't worried about y'all. But passive aggressively supporting Keke. For one, Keke's not your friend. This is, for one, let's keep it 100. This is family business. Yeah. And Mel really has no place of quote unquote hey, take a drug test. Hey, how about you come on a trip? You apologize to everybody. Hey, how about when you was allegedly stealing from Costco, being there and.
But that's why I feel like she's in like production mode. I don't necessarily feel like it's against Tisha. I think it's like for the show.
But Keke haven't done nothing for the show.
And that's why I think why Mel is pushing her to do stuff to make the show interesting.
Keke has been a complete dud when it comes to content for the show.
Yeah.
We start off the season with her allegedly stealing from Costco. She can't talk about it. Then she starts beefing with quote unquote Tiffany. Tiffany not on the show no more. Then she starts beefing with, well, I guess the continued beef with Tisha, and now they're not even talking. She barely made it on the trip.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is Keke's purpose on the show if all these things? And I do feel like, to go off what you just stated for us, is that I do feel like Tisha was granted a conversation and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, this is not just an employee or just someone random that I don't like. You're inviting my cousin.
Yeah.
And this is not like a cousin that I don't know. Like, I grew up with this person. She's practically a sister of mine. And you basically making it seem like you're playing middleman or trying to mend bridges where you don't even know the relationship. Nell says she's trying to build, she said it. She said, I'm trying to build a relationship with y'all too, and stuff like that. Talking about Marsau and Tisha. And Tisha was like, you don't really know our family relationship. You don't really know us like that, and you may not know the behind the scenes. But I do feel like Mel does know the behind the scenes, and choosing to side with Keke is some way a shot at Tisha, in my opinion. Okay. In my opinion. Continue.
Well, Nell says that she apologizes, and she says Keke's not going to stay.
Yeah.
And I felt like Nell gave a really sincere apology, to the point where she looked like she was really about to start tearing up.
No, she was.
Well, she was tearing up because she really didn't want to cause any discourse. She wanted it to be a good time for everybody. And I appreciated that she said, not only do I apologize, but I'm going to make it right.
Yeah.
I'm going to do what I need to do to make it right. And I feel like not enough of that is seen on the show when it comes to a lot of these personalities of people actually going to rectify situations.
She was like, Chris Fletcher was right. He was right.
Yeah, yeah. And she even said, like, she wasn't trying to throw her husband under the bus. She was just like, he, been arguing with me about it. Like, it's not something that we were in cahoots about. I just said yes, and I did wrong. Yeah. I was wrong. And kudos to Nell.
Yeah, continue.
So Nell asked Keke to leave, and Keke obliges. She says, look, I'm not going to stay where I'm not wanted. And
right then and there, the minute that Nell asks her to leave based off how uncomfortable Marsau and Tisha is, she said, you can't stay here. The camera goes to Stormi. And Stormi's like, it's okay. You can stay with us. You can stay with us. It's as if Stormi is itching to get in the middle of this like family beef. You get what I'm saying? I understand that to everybody, and we go learn more about this near the end of the episode, to everybody, this is fresh. But you got to understand that the two parties that's involved, Tisha and Keke, this is years on years.
And it's just some more salt on
exactly. So to Stormi, I can understand from a point of view of you're new to the group, you're probably new to the cast, and to you, it may seem like too much.
Yeah, everybody's ganging up on Keke.
You kicking this girl out, so it comes off as if you like, girl, you can stay with us.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I always say stay out of family business, because I don't know the in and outs of it. You get what I'm saying? Continue, Blair. My fault.
Yeah. Well, Mel asked, did Tisha tell you no? Asking Nell. And Nell says pretty much yeah. Marsau says, remember when you didn't want to be around certain people? We only received like one-sided information. Yeah. And pretty much this is the same situation to where you guys are hearing one side, but you don't know both sides of what's going on here. So Martell gets upset.
Yeah, because he was talking about Mel and Martell. He was talking about their marriage situation.
And Martell gets in Marsau's face, asking basically, what do you mean by that? Only here on one side. Basically, I be telling the truth.
Okay.
Is what I gathered Martell was trying to say.
I hear you, Martell.
Martell says people keep pointing the fingers at him. The questions they ask Martell, they don't ask Melody regarding the cheating. And then eventually, after all the hollering in the room, Nell walks out because she's just like, I can't do this. I'm not here for this. Like, he's being an a-hole. And then all the ladies come out, and then Nell asks Mel point blank, have you ever cheated? And Mel says she only talked to other people when her and Martell weren't together and she wasn't going back.
Yeah. Now, the reason why she did that, I don't know if a lot of people got it, was that Martell was basically like, y'all chose a side. And Nell was like, I didn't choose a side. And Martell was like, yes, you did. Because basically with that whole interaction when Martell was at the house and things like that, he basically was like, you never asked Melody, did she cheated? So Nell was like, you know what, just to get it out the way, I'm going to ask you on camera.
Yeah.
Mel, did you cheated on this man? You get what I'm saying? And I don't understand how this conversation became so unhinged, and we are really repeating seasons on seasons on seasons. We are back at season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You get what I'm saying? Of this whole Martell still going on with this whole thing of I didn't cheat. She cheated first, or that she cheated too. So it's like we gonna see more and know about it to the point where Nell is so upset. And she don't even understand how this even became about her choosing sides.
Right.
Because that was Martell is good at. He's good at taking off the blame on himself, taking the spotlight off and make it about, it's not about me cheating. It's not about me impregnating somebody else in my marriage. It's about you choosing a side.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Go ahead, Blair.
Martell says he made a mistake in their marriage, but they both cheated.
What do you mean? No, I'm really lost, Martell. I need you to walk through that door and tell me what do you mean? Because what do you mean you made a mistake? No, you made mistakes
for years.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you can't say if Mel was to do something in response to what you did, it doesn't make y'all equal in the wrong.
No.
Even if it does, why are you bringing up her faults? Bring up your faults.
Talk about you.
And this wouldn't even be the argument if you kept bringing up your faults, but you kept bringing up her to the point where she's like, you know what? Let me actually break it down what happened. So it don't have to be, quote unquote, Martell said. Let me tell my story. Go ahead, Blair.
Yeah. So what happened was Mel, she got an apartment.
Yeah.
After she found out he was cheating for 2 years. Then it was a homecoming. And she caught him in the car with his current baby mama. And so she got an apartment and I think she said like December, and then they reconciled like around May.
Yeah.
But she said that she talked to people and dated people during that time frame. She even talked to attorneys and lawyers about divorce. She really thought she was gone.
Yeah.
And before Martell cheated, he's trying to relay his part. Mel took time away from the house, and he said he complained a year that she was spending time away from the house and the family.
Yeah.
And he said her behavior, and she's telling us her behavior changed because she was being an a-hole. She was taking time away, I believe, because she was going to hotels and stuff like that to get away from like the kids, from him, just to try to find her peace. Is what it sounded like.
Now here's the thing. If you have to go away from your house, even let's just take away if Mel was cheating in those hotels. A house is supposed to be a sanctuary. A house is supposed to be your place of comfort. If you have to go out the house to find comfort, to find peace from whatever it is, let's say it's the kids.
Yeah.
Let's say it is the kids. I would say, Martell, maybe you should help with the kids to relieve some of that stress. Dude, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying this is what happened. I'm just trying to show that, hey, Martell, you can take accountability of her wanting to go to hotels or whatever she was doing. You get what I'm saying? You don't have to make it about her. Complaining doesn't make it better. How about you be like, you know what? Let me make my house a home even more to where my wife don't have to go to a hotel every 3 months quarterly. She talks about back in 2017, she found out about all these cheating things, and then she came back in April because she really thought, like Blair said, that she wasn't going to go back. And so you're using that as a weapon to wield against her, as in like, well, you cheated too. Like, I don't think he hears himself. Or I don't think he wants to hear himself.
He just wants to not be wrong. He wants to share the blame.
And it's like, but it's not even share the blame. He wants to, quote unquote, what is that thing that's thrown out in court? Yeah, he wants to be exonerated from the wrong he did.
Because of what she did.
Exactly. There's one thing if I say, hey, let's share the blame. But he don't even want any of it. He said, don't touch me with that. You get what I'm saying? He said, I don't want that.
And he's over here talking about, I know what I did. It was 3 years ago. I'm over it. It's cool. But she did. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, well, shouldn't you be over that too? If it's all water under the bridge?
Because it's not water under the bridge. Continue.
Yeah. Well, he's saying that they were still married when she cheated, and there is literally no difference. Okay. Stormi said, but you cheated first.
Thank you, Stormi.
And then he asked the question, if one spouse cheats and they think it's done, is it fair? And then to Stormi, she's like, yes, I think it's fair game, if that's the case. Mel moved out and spoke to attorneys, and she thought it was over. Then... there was more to that conversation as well, where Martell asked Nell, did you cheat on Fletcher when you guys weren't together when he cheated?
They were separated for 18 to 24 months.
Right. And Nell is basically like, no, I didn't cheat. I didn't do anything because I was waiting for him to come back. And then Martell was saying, see, like, you didn't step out. You didn't do anything wrong.
And he said, for her, it took a week. A week, and you waited 18 to 24 months. For her, it was a week. And I'm like, Martell, I don't think even, this is one of those cases to where Mel even says, what is the name? When did I cheat it? Like, where did I cheat it? Because everything is assumptions. Right. And I'm like, Martell, you have so much wrong that I don't think, like, even if you have something right, it's just this small. It's just this small. It don't even matter. It don't even matter. Continue. Yeah. Well, Marsau's in the kitchen talking to Mel, and he makes a comment, Mel's been evil to us, so I'm just picking Martell's side. And Mel's like, what have I done to y'all? Since I've been divorced, I haven't been checking for y'all. I ain't been speaking on y'all. I basically, like, I ain't been worried about y'all. And she's saying he did to me what he's now trying to do to everybody right now is to put batteries in people's back. And, he's trying to put batteries in y'all's back to dislike me at this point. Yeah. And Marsau tells her, Tisha feels betrayed by the fact that Keke came and that you knew about it. Yeah. And Mel's like, I didn't know about this, and I'm glad you told me she felt that way, so I'm going to pull Tisha for a one-on-one. Now, here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe you can help me with this, Blair. I don't know if this is semantics or I don't know what this is. Do you feel like Mel knew that Tisha, did you feel like Mel knew that Keke was coming? No. I don't know about that because Mel was the one that suggested that she come. Yeah, but I don't think she knew that Nell said yes, no, and that Keke was going to be on her way. But here's the thing. Now, that's why I asked, is this semantics? If you suggest that you come to a trip, right, knowing that the cousins are not talking, of course, like, it matters if Nell say yes or no. But if you're the one that bring up the idea, like, you know what, you should talk to Nell about coming to the trip. Is that just as bad as, like, knowing if she was coming or not? Because you brought the idea up. It's not just as bad. It's close. I mean, we right, like, touching the line. Oh, we touching the line? But I don't think it's the same. But I do, okay, is it fair for me to feel some type of way? Like, why are you suggesting for her to come on a trip? Like to me, like, that's why I'm like, am I doing semantics or am I too close to the line, but, like, I didn't cross it? Things are getting blurred. I feel like the line hasn't been crossed. But at the same time, I feel like what people aren't taking into account that this is a cash trip. Yeah. Okay. And Keke deserves to be on the trip. I understand that. But I'm not trying to break the fourth wall now. I'm just trying to go off of, if Mel was the one that said, you know what you should do? You should come on the trip, come to Houston. Mind you, no one told Keke about the trip. She only knew about the trip through Mel. Yeah. Right? Then she got the idea or the plan to call Nell. I'm saying I got to break the fourth wall for it to make sense to me. Yeah. To me, I'm like, hey, the way they scripted it for us, the way that it went Mel told Keke about the trip. Yeah. She gave her the game plan on what to do on the trip. Right? Keke called Nell to ask for permission to come on the trip. Of course, Nell said yes, right? I do feel like, Mel should get a little blame for even suggesting that Keke should ask Nell to come on the trip. That's just me. And I can see that. Because I'm like, what are you trying to do? You talking about come on a trip, like, you didn't even make it right with everybody. Don't use the trip to try to make it right with everybody. I feel like, Mel, you should feel some type of, you should get some blame for this. And that's why I feel like it's a little passive aggressive towards Tisha.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Continue.
Well, Mel talks to Tisha and says that she didn't know Keke would be there. If she knew Tisha didn't want her around, she wouldn't have suggested Keke to call Nell.
Stop.
And Tisha says, okay, we're good. And she's happy they talked about it. They hug it out.
I cannot believe that.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. A girl throw a drink in my face and you're like, well, if I would have known you didn't want her around, I wouldn't suggest that she called Nell. Okay, Mel.
And then also they met up for their little workout session, and Tisha couldn't even stand to sit and talk about Keke.
Now, do you see where I'm coming from?
So yeah, so that is a little bit.
It's a little funny.
It's a little funny. It's moving a little funny.
You're looking funny in the light because I feel like Mel is being a little passive aggressive, but so passive aggressive that she can be like, technically, I didn't give the okay for Keke to come, and I'm like, you're doing some antics.
Yeah.
Because you gave her the game plan to take to Nell that you know that Nell is going to say yes and things like that. Like Blair broke the fourth wall because it's a cash trip. But I'm going to act like I don't know anything. Okay. And I just feel like, hey, you knew that Tisha was not banging with Keke. Because when y'all was at that little workout thing, jumping on those trampolines, she said, I don't want to talk about this girl. I want nothing to do with this girl. And I think Tisha walked out.
Yeah.
Tisha, stay walking out. I did not just talk about this in me.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't make for good TV.
Stop walking out. Continue.
So everyone goes horseback riding.
Yeah.
Kimmie doesn't run a ride because she's scared.
I understand.
And Kimmie is talking to the therapist, and they're talking about some of Kimmie's fears, and they talk about how group therapy might work and might be well received within the group. The therapist talks about how every interaction is a divine appointment. Yeah. And overall, everyone had a good time with horseback riding.
Yeah. Now, it was one thing I want to bring up.
Yeah.
Courtney gonna say he wants the bigger horse, and that Stormi don't need the bigger horse because she only weighs 125 pounds. And
I don't know why we had to bring that up.
I gotta bring it up because it was funny to me.
Okay.
I say, Courtney, I know what you're doing, brother. And guess what? As a husband, I get what you're doing. Continue.
Okay. Well, they all go to group therapy.
Yeah.
The therapist asks for an explanation about what seems like unsettled energy within the group.
I don't like group therapy on TV. I actually just thought of that just now. Because truth be told, I'm like, yo, they always talking. And they always got the same, like unsettled energy. Well, the unsettled energy is they don't like Keke. And they don't like each other, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Continue.
Nell explains about the Keke situation.
Yeah.
And the therapist asks Keke if she thought that her being there would affect Tisha and Marsau. Keke says number one, Keke didn't answer the question. But Keke says that she did what she was supposed to do. She came, she apologized. Stormi feels like Keke had great energy today and thinks it's hard, when you're constantly trying to show up correct and people keep bringing up the past at you.
Stop right there. This is what Stormi said. I mean, not Stormi. This is what Keke said, which I don't like. I don't like people who act like this. She said, I apologize. What do I supposed to do when I apologize? Like, if they don't accept my apology, that's up to them. But I did what I was supposed to do. What? What?
Yeah.
If you're the one that's wrong and you want to give a sincere apology, I said a sincere apology. It should not be, here, take it. And if you don't take it, just...
Yeah, then F it.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't believe Keke's apology.
This is not 12-year-olds. This is not 20-year-olds. These are not even, some of them is not even early 30-year-olds. You get what I'm saying? This is grown adults. And I don't understand the whole idea of, well, if they don't want to take my apology, they can take it. But what else do I supposed to do? Give a real one.
Yeah.
Give an apology that doesn't benefit you just being on the trip. And then on top of that, I do agree that from Stormi's POV, only thing she sees is that this girl apologized. But she don't understand the story behind the story behind the story. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? She only see the characters.
And they try to explain it to her, but I feel like Stormi, even with the fact that her friend has like a drug problem, and she sees that, because the way it came across with Stormi is that her friend wasn't trying to get better at this time.
That's how it came off.
Right.
Yes.
And but it seems like Keke is doing everything in her power to stay clean, to be on good terms with people. So I think Stormi might be doing a comparison thing. This is totally a reach. But she might be doing a comparison thing with her friend and Keke and just saying Keke is doing so good. And we know she's going to make mistakes and problems. She struggles with substance abuse and probably mental health stuff. Let's give her a break.
I understand that. I understand Stormi's point of when somebody do something wrong or when people are trying to do something right, you don't want the past thrown in their face. I understand that point, but I don't think that fits to the situation.
Yeah.
I don't think it fits. Continue.
Well, Stormi says, everyone, we really should try to move forward.
Yeah.
Marsau wants to leave the door open out of love.
Yes.
Because he does feel like there could be healing there. But now is not the time. They don't want it now. They're not interested. They're just not feeling it. Marsau says that there has been growth in the group. For example, Mel and Tisha, they were able to have a conversation that didn't spiral into like a whole big beef.
Yeah.
And Tisha accepted Mel's response as truth and truly let it go. Now says that it took time for y'all to get here. It's talking about Mel and Tisha and saying that it might just need to take time for you and Keke to heal.
I love the example that Marsau gave, even though like we look at Marsau, he give these examples and people roll their eyes whenever we get these examples. He said, I was staring at this fire and the fire is burning the wood, right? But if I take water and pour it on the fire, yes, the fire is out, but I can't retrieve what the fire did to the wood. You get what I'm saying? The wood is not going to be the same.
Right.
And that's how he's describing, I guess, the cousins relationship to where it's like, okay, I can accept the apology, but the relationship is still damaged.
And it's damaged.
And it's not going to be the same. And he's like, look, you got to understand something, that I'm leaving it open for love because I just can't be on here saying I hate folks. But right now, I don't want to repair it. I know we're not ready to talk about it and things like that. And there's not even a want to, And that is maturity that I wish that Tisha would say as the one that was directly affected by the assault. I know like assault is the real word.
It is the right word.
But I see assault as something different than just water thrown in the face, but I understand. Right? I wish Tisha can explain that, but it's good that Marsau can explain that. And I think like people need to understand, which Marsau is going to touch on, is that, hey, y'all only been through this one time, through one season with this girl. She is actually my family. Yeah. She's actually Tisha's family. This is not just somebody that y'all just see one time, like, okay, she threw one in the face, she said sorry, what else? No, it's y'all only know her by her actions. I know this person.
Yeah, they know her patterns and also the way they talk about things in the past, which I understand letting people have their past and moving on. But if it's a pattern, you can't ignore patterns.
No, you can't.
If you're constantly apologizing and then doing effed up stuff to me, I mean, I got to protect myself. And I think that's where Tisha and Marsau were at.
You have to.
Yeah.
Continue.
But moving on, in the confessional, Keke says that she apologizes, but she isn't sorry for her action.
Boom.
So that's enough for me to hear. You're not really remorseful. You're not really sorry. So you could have kept your apology.
Listen to this. Listen to this woman.
I didn't need to hear the apology.
Keke is if you take out the cheating, right? Keke is the female Martell on the show. She takes no accountability.
Okay.
Right? She is like, y'all don't understand the things I had to go through with her. Talk about Tisha, right? And basically, I apologize for the action of throwing water in her face. But you know what? I'm not sorry that water got thrown in her face. And I'm like, I'm not sorry for the action. I'm like, then what did you apologize? What are we doing now? We're doing semantics with the apologies now.
Yeah. It's just like, just keep it.
No, leave. I haven't done this in a while. Keke, get off my show.
Okay. Look,
you fired Keke? I have to. Keke, get off my show. Okay. Yes, it's Carlos King's show, but I can't take it because Keke, you haven't brought nothing to us. The things that we wanted to know about, you won't let us know. But you bring it on this family beef that even the viewers, we don't really even know the depths of it. We know it based off the seasons of the show, but we don't really understand this Cain and Abel type of relationship y'all got. Because to us, Tisha and Marsau saying we picked you off the streets at 3:00 in the morning high, allegedly. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Keke response is, y'all don't know what I've been through with her. Only thing that we see from our POV is that, hey, Tisha was being honored as homecoming or whatever it is in Mobile, Alabama, or some part of Alabama, and she didn't show up. She had some excuse. Yeah. All we see is just times that Keke haven't shown up. I'm saying this. This is the first time I seen Keke's husband on TV this season. Let us see the inner workings of your life. Outside of you trying to get in the inner workings of Tisha's life and marriage and things like that. Let's see. Open up your closet. Let's see what's in there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Besides going through other people's dirty laundry, let's see yours. But we can't talk about it. We can't see her marriage. We can't see her work. We can't see anything that have to do with Keke. It's kind of strange. It's strange to me. Continue.
That's all I got.
Oh, wow. That's it? What did you think about the show, Blair?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I was really annoyed with all the hollering and screaming Martell was doing.
Yeah.
It was even hard to take notes because I'm just like, what all is who saying and what point are we trying to make? And it really wasn't no points.
No.
Martell just trying to get people to push the blame onto Mel again.
Kimmie even said it. Kimmie was like, we over here talking about what came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
And after a while, it gets deafening. It just gets old. And it's like,
Martell, you had the baby.
Yeah.
That's the trump card.
Yeah.
You win.
That's really, if we want to keep it a buck, I feel like Mel would have forgave you for the 11th time.
Yeah.
But it's that baby, and it's like, wow. You're not even being sneaky enough to like hide the baby.
Yeah.
Like you really out here just raw and just doing whatever you want to do to me, your family, and even to yourself. You get what I'm saying? This episode was good. Next episode, we see some things that I'm very interested in looking forward to. But this episode, Keke, even those small things I noticed. Keke sitting next to Mel because guess what? She needs Mel because she don't have nobody.
Yeah.
And one thing that Tisha said in the confessional, she was like, look, man, actually Marsau said it. Marsau said that we was kind of immature and ignorant to when Martell and Mel first was breaking up and getting divorced, and we was doing that thing of trying to get them together.
Yeah.
Right? And we thought like it wasn't done, but really it was done because we only got that POV compared to the years and years and years and years that we didn't know about. And she said, and he's basically comparing it to this. He said like, look, y'all only seen the drink in the face. The drink in the face is really the straw that broke the camel's back of this relationship.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of things. And it's done. And Tisha was like, listen here. You really can't get in the way of God. Like this is what God wants. And Tisha gave a little line when God said it's time to go. It's time.
And you know that's Mel's t-shirt saying.
Oh, it is?
Oh, when
so
God says go, because basically she was talking about leaving her marriage.
Oh, so Tisha throwing a little shit. See, now you got me saying that, yo, this is really, we seeing Keke and Tisha, but really it's about Mel versus Tisha.
Oh, no. I think they're on good terms enough.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think, just because you said that too, after Marsau was making fun of her little t-shirt business too?
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah. This, matter of fact, this has nothing to do with Keke.
Y'all passive aggressive.
This is about Melody versus Tisha, because Melody did not get over you saying I have a dark soul. Anything else, Blair?
That's all I got.
Y'all be good.
Bye.